River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal, and you're watching Coffee with Kruger. Having my cup of coffee right here in my Weather NorCal mug here. I'm working on some ideas for some contests so we can get out some free swag out to you all, and just trying to figure out some of those ways that we can do that. And one of those things that I was thinking about doing is, some kind of like photo contest. I remember back in the TV days, they used to do a kind of a photo of the day. It was sponsored by, back in the day, remember, for those of you that remember film cameras and all that, it was brought to you by Crown Camera. Crown Camera, it was, a big sponsor of it. They gave away, eventually we gave away enlargement of photos and digital cameras back when people would buy digital cameras. So it was a lot of fun. So again, trying to figure out maybe some way that we can do that. I'm getting a little bit more response from some of you with the photos, but I'd love to get more photos out there and share those photos on social media, put them up regularly every day, have a new photo of the day right here on Coffee with Kruger, have a new photo, which would be the same photo that would run on my morning update that I uploaded about 6 o'clock in the morning. So let's be on the lookout for that and have a little bit of fun. Looks like Lisa is on this morning saying hello to everybody. Looks like she's got the cup of coffee, a big smile on her face, and we're ready to hit the day on this Thursday. And you know what? What's good news is that we're going to be looking at temperatures not as hot as they have been. We're still pretty warm in Redding at about 74 degrees, but that's just because the winds have been blowing a little bit out there, but those winds are dying down. Still not 70 in Red Bluff, but upper 60s right now for places like Chico and Corning right now. And of course, we've got 63 in Willows. We can see the visibility out there right now, and we're seeing some lower. I mean, it's nothing bad, nothing really that bad at all. But there you can see some of the lower visibilities that we do have out towards Crescent City and even the Eureka area here. Let's go ahead and take a look at, we don't want to look at that just yet, but we'll take a look at this. And this is what it looks like in Crescent City right now. So again, kind of a little foggy out there, just the gray skies that you're used to up there in the Crescent City area. We've also got some fog that we're seeing this morning out in just north of Trinidad. So really up and down the coast is where we are seeing the majority of that fog out there this morning. But I do anticipate that a lot of that fog should start to dissipate here later on today, especially as we go through the late morning hours. But overall, still seeing some of that fog out there. But otherwise, sunny skies elsewhere. Now, the heat. Here we take a look at June. Now, remember, we hit our first triple-digit temperature this year, Wednesday, on June 5th. We didn't see any triple-digit heat in May. So when we look at this, we can count how many days so far that we've seen 100 degrees or higher, especially in the Redding area, and of course the valley in general. So starting on Wednesday, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So far we have seen 6 days of triple-digit heat. That trend, though, is going to stop today and tomorrow. Now, this begs the question, and this is when people start asking questions about records and all that and climate data. And yesterday, someone had instant messaged me on Facebook and asked me this question: how many days did we see 100 degrees or higher last year? So I responded and said, let me dig into that. And now I've got those numbers. Last year, we saw 42 days of 100 plus degree temperatures. Now that may seem hot, right? But the year before that, in 2022, we saw 71 days of triple digit heat, 100 degrees or higher. And what's crazy is that is 1 day shy of the record, because in 2017, we saw the record number of days of 100 plus degree temperatures of 72 days. Now these are records that go back as far as 1893. I think it was somewhere in 1950, somewhere in the 1950s, early 1950s, that I do recall seeing that there were over 50 days, and that was the record before then. And then, of course, by 2017, just shattered that record, right? From right around 51, 52 days to 72 days in 2017. So let's hope we don't see a repeat of that this year. I'd like to see more like 42 days, right? Look at the high temperatures we saw out there yesterday. 107 in Redding, 106 for Red Bluff. Corning saw a high of 104, Chico 100, 101 for Oroville, and those temperatures in the 90s still yesterday in many of the higher elevations. All right, so out the door this morning, your June 13th. Well, temperature's still pretty mild this morning in the valley, but I do expect the mostly cloudy skies along the coast with low 50s, otherwise sunny skies and not too terribly warm. There you can see your wind gusts out there this morning, fairly calm, but I do expect them to pick up a little bit this afternoon, but really shouldn't be too much of a concern. The strongest winds will be on the coast, and not to mention in the eastern mountains, and looks like even in Shasta Valley there in Siskiyou County, with those gusts possibly 20 to 30 miles per hour. Look at the fire weather risk for today, not as high as we've seen. A couple of pockets there, especially the north and west side of the valley, where we are seeing some higher fire danger. A bit of that south wind is going to help to contribute to the lower fire danger. But when we look at the big picture here, we have an area of low pressure. Look at there over the Gulf of Alaska. You see that spin, that area of low pressure? That's going to have an impact on our weather this weekend and early next week. But not necessarily in the form of rain, more in the form of cooler temperatures. Now there you can see the coast. It's going to be hard, I think, for some areas, especially in Humboldt County, to really completely clear out. But otherwise, I do expect to see some clearing. That's 6 o'clock this afternoon. Again, around Eureka, northward, there still may be some leftover clouds. And then by tonight, some of those clouds just start to dissipate. By the way, just as a reminder, as even though temperatures are dropping, we still have to remember to protect our pets' paws. So, for example, when the grass is 90 degrees, the concrete's even hotter, asphalt even hotter, and not to mention that AstroTurf. So again, just a friendly reminder that just think about the 5-second rule. And this is something I do a lot. What you do, if you can't hold the back of your hand on the surface that your dog is on, then it's too hot for your pet. That's the bottom line. I just use my hand. And of course, I'll go to the back of my hand if it's a little questionable, but it's, it's usually pretty quick. Yesterday, I went out to the mailbox. I'm barefoot. It was hot. I couldn't, it was terrible. Of course, it was the black asphalt, so that didn't help either. Look at the highs we are going to see out there today. 97 for it. We're breaking away from the triple digits. This is definitely a welcome sight. 94 Chico, 93 Oroville. Looking at a high of about 90 for Alturas. Now, here's what's interesting. We're going to see about a 10-degree drop from yesterday for the valley, but the mountains are going to be about the same as yesterday, if not even a little bit warmer in some spots. Okay, so just kind of something to kind of think about there. Now, we take a look at our 7-day outlook, and what we're seeing here are temperatures decreasing. Definitely a welcomed sight. There you can see temperatures in the upper 80s by the weekend. Right? And then mid 80s by Monday, low to mid 90s by Tuesday and Wednesday. How about the coast? Well, temperatures upper 50s to low 60s. Now, I have included a chance for showers in there on Monday. We're going to take a closer look at that in your deeper dive forecast, but I wouldn't count on much. And there may even be an isolated thunderstorm for some of those higher elevations, but there you can clearly see that trend is downward. And we're going to be in the 60s for the higher elevations as early as Saturday for Alturas. Susanville still about 81, but I do expect those mid-60s by Monday. And then there, of course, you can see temperatures continue to drop as we go into early next week. Chance for showers, maybe some thunderstorms from Mount Shasta to Alturas. But Susanville, I think the eastern mountains at this point are looking dry. Okay. There's Lake Oroville, North Forebay, Lake Oroville State Recreation Area. Look at the sunny skies that we have out there. The lake is looking like glass as usual without much of a breeze. Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Looks like we've got the sunny skies there. Not much of a breeze. Not much of a breeze on Highway 99 at Neal Road. Looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there. We take you out to the Redding Highway 44 at the Sundial Bridge Drive exit. Wish we could get that camera in motion here. By the way, here it is, the picture of the day. And Tracy, she labels this hot dogs. That's what she labeled it. Oh, I forgot to. And These are her 2 fur babies right here. We've got the golden retriever on the left. Oh, what were their names? I forgot their names. I meant to write their names down. But we've got to the left a golden retriever, and that on the right is a German Shepherd and Husky mix. Now, she calls it hot dogs. They look pretty darn happy to me, don't they? They look like they've had plenty of water. They look like their paws are nice and happy because they're on a cool surface right there. But thank you, Tracy, for sending in this image. And if you want to see your picture right here on Coffee with Kruger, or this same picture will also play on my morning update at 6 a.m., and it will be shared on social media. If you want to see that picture, just go to the free Weather NorCal app from your iPhone or Android. Just search for Weather NorCal in your app store. You'll be able to download it for free today, right now. And then you scroll down at the bottom, and that's where you can share your photos. It walks you through it all. You got to make sure you have access to your photos and all that good stuff. But looks pretty good. Ollie and Timber. Thank you, Tracy. Ollie and Timber. Let's take you back to those cute little puppies. So Ollie is on the left, looking very happy. Timber is on the right, and also looking pretty happy there as well. So thank you, Tracy, for reminding me. I need to be better at that. And again, of course, there's a look at the free Weather NorCal app that you can download for free. It's really, honestly, this thing is just the best way to go. Because if you are a big fan of Weather NorCal and what I do here, everything that I offer, you can get from your phone. You can watch my, regular video weather update. You can get your neighborhood forecast, and it travels with you. If you go out of town, if you go out of state, it will give you the forecast wherever you are. Now, granted, that forecast won't be touched by me. It's going to be completely automated, but you at least have something, right? So go ahead, download it for free today. I think you'll enjoy it. And keep in mind, too, that I've got an app for your Fire TV. I've got an app for your Roku. And if you don't have Fire TV or Roku, no need to worry, because most likely, I'd be willing to guess, most of you have smart TVs. Smart TVs, you attach them to the internet, boom, you got a YouTube app on there automatically. Just look for the Weather NorCal YouTube channel. And the beauty of the YouTube channel, not only can you watch the 24-hour streaming channel, but you can watch the latest video forecast as well. So that's kind of cool. So there you have it. Before we get to the Ag Report, let's kind of check in with everybody and see how everybody's doing this morning. Looks like we've got Tracy saying good morning. And of course, then she told us her dog's names. Krista, good morning to you. Good morning to Jay. Thank you for your morning wishes. And Jake Mangus, haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you're here, if you're still here. Cool down a comin' is what he's saying. And yes, that is definitely the case here. I mean, if we're talking upper 80s by the weekend, oh man, that's going to be nice. And of course, I know Jake is a father, so hopefully you can enjoy that Father's Day with a nice hike with the kiddos. Morning all, nice changes. Yes, Pam is saying there's some good changes heading our way. And Pam is appreciating the cute, happy dogs. And of course, Tracy chiming in with her Ollie and Timber. So there you have it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here. And we have got our NorCal Ag Report. It's sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. Now this week, I've got Jerry O'Lennon. He's out in Chico. And so he's able to kind of go out into the Chico area, Butte County in general, and kind of the surrounding areas and get some great ag reports there as well. Now, as you may or may not know, Chico has an amazing Thursday night market. So what he did is he went out to the Thursday night market, and he's going to take us on a bit of a tour on what it's all about.
And this is the Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. I'm at the Thursday night market in downtown Chico, a staple of this community. Every Thursday from now through September 26th, the downtown streets are lined with more than 100 vendors. Most people come here for the fresh food that is produced by certified local growers. Is Thursday night market a big moneymaker for you guys?
Yeah, and this year too, especially since there's been a lot more publicity for it, we've been doing really, really good. When the college students were all here, we pretty much didn't sit down the whole market, and we always had a lot of people that were buying our almonds.
I feel like the Thursday night market is really important to the business. It gives us the opportunity to get out in the community and make contacts with our community. And of course, obviously the weekly business is something for micro businesses that's very important. And you get into that routine of being able to see your customers every week, and that's important not only from a financial standpoint, but the mental health aspect of getting to be a part of our community.
But there are also artists and musicians and a host of other activities for young and old alike spread around the downtown area. The Thursday night market happens each Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. The primary area for the fresh food is between 2nd and 3rd Streets, just off Main Street. It runs through September 26th, although it will be closed on the 4th of July, which falls on a Thursday this year. And that wraps up another installment of the Ag Report. I'm Jerry O'Lennon for Weather NorCal.
All right, thanks to Jerry for that report here. And really, it is I have not had a chance to check out the Thursday night market. And I think typically it's because I've always had the early morning shift and it's a Thursday night type of deal and it's harder for me to get out there and then have to drive back to be up early in the morning. But I think I'm going to try to make it this year. And check it out because I've heard a lot of great things about it. So if you live outside of Chico and you're not too far of a drive, and of course I know Redding's over an hour, but it might be worth checking out. I think, kind of checking out the whole culture of it all. They've got great produce down in Butte County as well. And of course, the great food vendors they have out there and just the regular vendors. They got flower vendors, and I know that they also have other vendors that sell other things outside of produce or food. But certainly kind of a fun thing. All right, before we get to the forecast here and kind of move on here, let's check in with everybody and see. Jeff is saying this is a much cooler morning. I wish I could say I agree with you, but I haven't gone outside this morning yet. Based on the temperatures that I'm seeing, it actually looks still pretty warm out there, but I'd be willing to guess that it probably feels a lot cooler out there this morning. Good morning from Red Bluff. Well, thank you, Kay, for watching this morning. I certainly appreciate you and everybody that's been chiming in this morning and saying hello. I always appreciate that. It makes me feel appreciated, and it makes me feel like you all are actually watching. You have those moments where you're like, are people even watching? Come on. But I know you are. And I know people really are. I get a lot. What's happening is, which is really fun, is that in the early phases of Weather NorCal, there were just a lot of people saying, oh, I miss you, da, da, da. And I have to tell them, hey, I got Weather NorCal and all that good stuff. But what I'm noticing is a shift from that to now, hey, how you doing, Mike? I watch you on Weather NorCal. So it's happening. It's happening. More and more people are discovering this. And that's why it's up to you and everybody else that once you discover this, once you know about this, tell everyone you know about it, who lives in the area. If you have a friend who lives on the coast, you have a friend who lives in Mount Shasta or Wairika or any of the outlying areas of Weather NorCal, tell them about it so they can tell their friends and it can just continue to spread. It's kind of like that whole, I don't know, what do they call it? It's called something where you tell one person, that person tells two people, that two people tell, it just keeps branching out more and more and more. And that is what is happening. And I'm excited about that. And I love to see it all happening. And we got Tracy saying, we do appreciate, well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you as well. Let's take a look at the calendar for the day today before we do get to that forecast. National Golf Cart Day. Who has a golf cart? Most likely you'll maybe live close to a golf, a golf range or a golf course, right? National Random Acts of Light Day. Okay, that must be some kind of, it is by the national calendar and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Okay, so it looks like there's some kind of benefit there. National Kitchen Klutzes of America Day. Okay, interesting. National Weed Your Garden Day. Oh boy. Yeah, who loves to weed? National Sewing Machine Day. All right, for those who love to sew, it's your day. National Career Nurse Assistance Day. Some of these things are just so random, right? First day of National Nursing Assistance Week. Okay, there are nursing assistants, and I'm sure they want to have their day in the spotlight as well. Okay, so let's get you to the forecast. And in order to do that, we got to first mention our sponsor, which I am glad to do every single morning because thanks to Wind River Resort and Casino, well, Coffee with Kruger is made possible. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. So the current temperatures outside, and our friend, we got to double check here, our friend Jeff Johnson is saying this is a much cooler morning. And I suppose it depends on where you are, right? Because right now, the Reading Airport's sitting at 74 degrees. So again, it just depends on where you are. But it's still pretty warm in some spots here. But I think bottom line, it is cooler, especially as you see in the higher elevations, in the 50s there, and not to mention low 50s out along the coast. So looking at our weather headlines, the cooling trend starts today. All right, puts a big smile on my face, and I hope it does the same for you. Because not only that, it's not going to be as hot this Father's Day weekend. I think we're talking possibly upper 80s throughout the weekend. Awesome, right? And an even cooler start, possibly even going into next week. So from upper 80s over the weekend to possibly mid 80s by Monday. Now, when we're talking about chances for rain, there is a chance for some rain in there for some of us, not everybody. But overall, the long range, looking fairly dry. All right, the winds right now, fairly calm. It's a little breezy in some spots here, but overall, fairly calm winds. They're picking up a little bit this afternoon, but not too bad in the valley. We do have those west winds in the eastern mountains, a bit of that north wind in the Shasta Valley, and of course the gusty north winds again on the coast. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. If you live on the coast, you're probably getting annoyed by those winds, but that's kind of sometimes the reality of it all. We take a look, it's Friday morning, and there you can see fairly calm winds across the board before those winds unfortunately pick back up, especially in the valley. Look at this. Western Tehama County looking at gusts possibly over 30, even close to 40 miles per hour. So gusty winds tomorrow for parts of the valley, not to mention some pretty strong winds off towards the eastern mountains as well, and of course those strong winds for the north coast. All right, let's take you into your Saturday morning. Still a little breezy, it looks like to be in the valley, and then looks like a bit of a strong north wind coming in on Saturday afternoon. Now the humidity, as you can see, is mainly going to be above those single digits for the valley, especially for today. But by tomorrow, they may drop a little bit more, and then going into your Saturday, there you can see those basically the teens and even some 20s there. So the humidity not as bad, looks like, even though we do have those strong north winds. All right, so here's your fire weather risk. For today, it's more in that moderate to high range. We're also starting to see some of those yellows indicating at least the low to moderate range for Modoc County in the eastern mountains. We take you into your Friday, there's that high to very high fire danger in the valley. We're in that low to moderate category again for the eastern mountains in Modoc County. We take you into Saturday. Now, again, we notice those winds coming out of the north, and I don't know if I 100% agree with this. I think we should probably be more within that high to very high range, especially with those north winds. However, one of the contributing factors when we look at this fire weather risk is the temperatures. We're not looking at 100 degrees, 110 degrees. We're looking at upper 80s for those daytime highs. So that is going to be a contributing factor that also gives us higher humidity as a result. So even though it will be windy out of the north, it won't be as typically as dry as we would see. But still, when we have high winds, no matter what the temperature is this time of the year, we've really got to be careful. Look at this big swirling area of low pressure. This is going to have an impact on our weather here later on in the week, and we'll of course talk about that here in a sec, but I want to show you some of the highs that we saw. Now remember, on Monday, Red Bluff broke a record by 1 degree, broke a record by 1 degree on Tuesday, but didn't break the record on Wednesday. In fact, the hottest day of the year so far for Red Bluff was on Tuesday. For Reading, didn't break any records. It was close on Monday, 4 degrees shy on Tuesday, and a couple of degrees shy yesterday. And yesterday was actually the hottest day of the year so far for Reading. So you get the idea. It was pretty hot to start off the week. And you take a look at the high temperatures we saw across the region here. Temperatures around 99 for Boerne, much like yesterday. 96 for Susanville, 91 in Altura. So again, even pretty hot in the higher elevations. But what we've got here, and I was showing you that image of that satellite image here with the area of low pressure here. This, check it out. It's moving closer to us. It's going to be moving in by Friday and through the weekend. Now, here's the problem with this. Okay, so yes, it's going to drop our temperatures down. We're talking upper 80s for Saturday, even Sunday. This is moving out. The problem I'm talking about is this one coming in behind it. You see this? This is an area of low pressure developing. It's going to be moving in. It's going to be a cooler pocket of air, and that's why our temperatures will drop down even more on Monday. But this is going to be your standard inside slider event. What that means is the winds are going to pick up. They're picking up Monday, they're picking up Tuesday, and possibly even into Wednesday. But by Wednesday, Thursday, that'll move on out. The wind should start to die down. So temperatures dropping through the weekend even more for early next week, and then they start to go back up. This high pressure is going to try to build in, but yeah, there it is. Thank you to this area of low pressure here, cooler air, that'll be shifting eastward and preventing this from building any stronger. But it will still at least be warmer. In fact, the temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center still has us in that warmer than normal category, but barely. I mean, in fact, you take a look at the temperature trend here. There's the dip. The peak of the cooling trend will be on Monday, and then see the temperature start to kind of go back up by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. We look at that trend for Mount Shasta, same thing. Cooler on Monday with highs in the upper 60s, but quite an increase going into Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. For Weaverville, you're seeing it drop down in the low 70s, back in the low to mid 80s by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. El Turris, you're dropping well below normal for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday of next week, but then by next Thursday back up to the upper 70s. And then for Susanville, those temperatures peaking on Monday with that cooling trend before we climb back up in the 70s and 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. And for the coast, well, the normal high is about 62, and we'll be just below that in most cases, with the exception of next Thursday, maybe back up to 62, a balmy 62 degrees. All right, so by Monday, as I mentioned, that storm system that's going to be pushing through the Pacific Northwest, it could bring us a chance for a few showers. Now, where I've included the showers, even though Futurecast isn't showing it, is the coast, Trinity County, Siskiyou County, and Modoc County. South of that into Lassen and Plumas counties, I think it'll be mainly dry, not to mention for the valley, and maybe some of those kind of trickling down into northern portions of Shasta County and northeastern Shasta County. That's Monday. Okay, then by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, we keep it fairly dry, just a couple of those passing clouds, and of course those cooler temperatures. All right, let's take a look at those wave heights for today. Well, unfortunately, they're going to be fairly high, at least to start off the day, but they will start to decrease going into your Friday afternoon. Now, what we're looking at here with your marine forecast for your Thursday is a hazardous seas warning through this morning, okay, through about 9 a.m. After 9 a.m., that will be allowed to expire. Most likely will still be a small craft advisory as we go through the afternoon. But again, as those winds start to die down, the wave heights are decreasing. We should be looking at improving conditions going into your Friday in particular. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, Highway 299 corridor. As usual, you can see around Del Loma and Burnt Ranch, mid to upper 80s. 90s, though, elsewhere as you start heading eastward. 91 degrees for Coffee Creek and 92 degrees for Trinity Center. Out towards Hayfork, a high of 92, 87 for Wildwood. Ruth about 89. There's that nice dip in the temperatures and that chance for showers for Trinity County on Monday, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. We take you into southern Humboldt County. Temperatures there 70s and 80s. Places like Shelter Cove about 70 today. Honeydew about 75 degrees. Out towards Ferndale 60, 61 degrees in Fortuna, 62 in Highsville and Rio Dell, a high of about 60. We take you up north with 88 for Willow Creek, 86 degrees in Hoopa. Temperatures and even a chance for showers for the inland areas on Monday as well. Let's take you up north. 69 for Smith River, 64 degrees for Klamath, and 64 degrees for a high today in Orick. We take you out to Siskiyou County, where temperatures there are basically going to be about 90 degrees, give or take, pretty much anywhere you go here for central and western Siskiyou County. There is that chance for showers on Monday. That'll be the case also for Scott Valley. Otherwise, today, 89 for Etna, 90 in Callahan, and 85 degrees in Fort Jones. Let's take you out to eastern and northeastern Siskiyou County. Temperatures there will be low to mid 80s, although back into the 90s here as you head into some of those lower elevations. There's that chance for a shower or thunderstorm on Monday. Now, Modoc County, have also got that chance there on Monday. Otherwise, dry conditions for the next 7 days. Newell about 86 today, 90 in El Turris, 90 in Likely. As I said, even though we're seeing about a 10-degree drop for the valley, not as much of a drop for the mountains. In fact, if anything, it's going to be about the same, if not even a little bit warmer in some cases here for today. Fall River Mills about 91, Bernie 88. Look for a high of 89 for Montgomery Creek and 89 degrees for Paynes Creek. Now, again, you'll notice here, we're not seeing that chance for showers or thunderstorms here for the mountains, in the eastern mountains, that is. But there you can see Chester, high of 87, much cooler out towards Summit Lake with a high of about 73 degrees. Your eastern mountains to the south, Paradise, a high of 87. Looks like dry conditions and cooler as we go into your Monday. Cooler on Monday for Susanville, the high of 70, back in the upper 70s by Tuesday, and low 80s by Wednesday. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor with temperatures in the low to mid 90s for Red Bluff southward. Chico about 95, 93 degrees for Oroville, and 93 degrees in Elk Creek. We take you up north a little bit warmer, places like Redding about 97. There you can see Cottonwood about 96 and Lakehead about 92 degrees. So looking at your 7-day outlook for Redding, there you can see those temperatures in the upper 80s for Saturday, Sunday, mid 80s by Monday, and we're talking low to mid 90s here by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So it looks like we do have that cooler weather in store for us. It is going to be much more pleasant, but we've also got to really watch. We've really got to watch that fire danger. I'm a little concerned with those winds picking up. I don't have the wording in there on the 7-day forecast, but I'm expecting that by around Monday, Tuesday, the winds are going to be fairly strong, and we may see our first fire weather watch or red flag warning of the season. We'll see. With temperatures like 86 on Monday, low 90s Tuesday, typically you're not going to have as much of a high fire danger because of the cooler temperatures. Because when you have the cooler temperatures, humidity is usually not as low. But for us, it'll still probably be fairly low. And those gusty winds, we've got a lot of dry fuels out there. So that doesn't help either. So that's something we'll have to really be on the lookout for. Let's see here. We got Pam Georgia Carver saying, start spreading the news. And of course, I see the musical notes. I think you're thinking of Frank Sinatra. I think that's what you're going with there. Start spreading the news. I'm sure... Yes, be sure to spread the word about Weather NorCal, Coffee with Kruger. It's a great morning show, still working on some ideas and thoughts and still brainstorming on what to do with this show, because I do want to do more with this. It's fairly raw. I do like kind of the feel where I can kind of chit-chat with you all, and you all can comment in and we can talk, because, no other news show can really do that, right? Because it's regular live TV. You can't... you can, of course, post to them during the show and they might be able to interact, but we can interact right here, right now, through the magic of social media. So there you go. All right, folks, that is going to do it for us this morning. Let's take a look at some of the cameras out there before we kind of wrap the show up. And here we have Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Things are looking pretty nice out there. Looks like a little bit of a breeze now. If I showed this image here a little bit earlier, looks like I was so happy to find you, even though I was a little late to the party. I don't like to watch the news, though I love to watch the weather. So this is perfect for me. Thank you. Well, Cynthia, I'm glad I was able to kind of get that perfect little combination for you. And I think a lot of people feel the same way you do as well. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to defend the news. There is a place for it. I think we all can agree that there is a place for the local news. There's things that I'm not going to be able to provide to you that I think you're going to need from the local news. And so there's still a place for it. But I do know that a lot of people don't want to have to filter through the news to get to the weather. And that's the beauty of Weather NorCal. You can just go straight. It's not Father Day Sunday, not Monday. It's not Father Day Sunday, not Monday. Did I have it on Monday? Let me check. Let me check to see if I have it. I think I have it on Sunday. I have it on Monday. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, you're right. It is on Sunday. I don't know what I did that. How would I? Here, tell you what. Let's do this. Let's fix it on live right now. Nope, that's not it. We got an American flag in there. Not a problem. Check this out. Let's make it a different one, actually. Let's do this one. Let's do, since we're on Coffee with Kruger, number one dad. There it is. Yes. Thank you, Sean, for giving me a heads up on that. Hopefully I didn't do that on my other morning update, but it is Sunday. You are right. But some of us maybe like to extend it on into Monday too. Ditto. I didn't watch the news. And I think that was kind of really the main thing, right? A lot of people would come out to me when I was still working in TV and they say, I don't really watch the news, but I watch you. And I thought, wow, that made me feel pretty good. That, they just kind of skipped the news and went right to me. And so you don't have to skip the news, folks. If you want the news, you can go to it. You don't have to worry about, if that's what you're going for, you're good to go, right? You can watch the news, you're good to go, and you don't have to worry about it. But if you're saying, I don't really care what's going on with the news right now, I just want to know what's going on with the weather, then you go to Weather NorCal. And that's where you have the Weather NorCal app. Make sure you got the notifications on there, because the notifications will tell you if there's any watches or warnings in your particular area. You'll also be able to watch Coffee with Kruger on your app. You'll be able to watch the 24-hour streaming channel. So it's fun. It's a good day and it's early, yes. That is kind of weird though. I'm not sure. I guess part of my routine, maybe I just kind of went the wrong day. But there you go. So there you have it, folks. That's going to do it for us this morning on Coffee with Kruger. We've still probably got the music going a little bit here, but a little bit of fun jazzy music. Let's take you to some cameras. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Do that. Do that. What's going on? What am I doing to myself here? I'm trying to get you to some cameras here. And we're going to do that. We're doing the cameras right now. There you go. There's Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Well, Cynthia's saying, replying to Pam Georgia Carver. When I did watch it, it was the channel Mike was on, since he's my favorite weatherman. Well, thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. There's a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay, and again, there's a little bit of a wind now kind of blowing over the lake, turning out to be kind of a little breezy in some spots here, but shouldn't be too bad of a day. It shouldn't be as hot as it has been, so get out there and enjoy it. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning for your Friday edition of Coffee with Kruger at 7 o'clock in the morning, right here on Weather NorCal.